What's up, guys? Back in the news here, we got Smallville, Season 5, Episode 17, Void. Okay, so this episode starts off with Lana. She's waiting for Chloe to leave her dorm room, and then she goes down to the secret place I've met you, and she meets with her, friends Lance and Allie, and they created, this drug that can, if they, put it into you die and see your dead family members, but then you come back. So Lana tries that. She sees her parents, and yeah. So yeah. But she's like, yeah, let's try again. But they're but Lana's like, I have to go back. So I have to go back to see my parents. So Clark and Chloe. Clark goes to Chloe's dorm room, and yeah. And Chloe's like, oh, Clark, Milton finds alive, and he's like, no, he's dead. And he's like, I know we both saw him die, but he's not dead. So yeah. And they awkwardly catch I think Lana tried too many times. Lana's all pale, and yeah. Lana's all pale, and yeah. Yeah, so I think I should try. Dang, my computer. I opened it up again. Sorry. I opened up my computer up again, so that's why I made the doo sound. But anyway, back to the episode. Okay, so yeah. Martha's talking to the Senate because she's senator. She's trying to take Johnson's place as senator, and yeah. So Lana tries to go back, She's like, hey, Lance, I want some more. But he's like, I want to go back to see them. But he's like, hey, we'll try this later. You have to give me $2,000. So what does Lana do? She sneaks into Lex's office and tries to take it. And she tells him how she saw her parents and about Lance's drug and all that stuff. Yeah, and he'd give any chance to see it was hard for him to see his family die. Except for, yeah. So he's like, you're cold, but she's like, I don't need a blanket. He's like, no. And while Lex is gone, Lana takes his keys to his Porsche. So she goes and she's like, hey, there's a Porsche outside, meaning Lex's car, and yeah, Lana really wants to see her parents. So yeah, so they're like, hey, so he's like, so Lana attempts to put herself into the dream world, but then put herself into that state, but the land fights her, attempts to do it to her, but then they fight over it, and then Lex shows up, and he attempts to put her in dream world, which is weird because she would die anyway, and so yeah. And then he's like, Lex Luthor, oh, you're dumb, Lana. And yeah. So then Lex accidentally gets injected, and he sees the ghost of his mom, and she's like, oh yeah, I showed you the life you could have lived, and you're still living in only reality that you are Lex. You could have had everything. You could have, they kind of reference the events of episode 9, and yeah, and he's like, what look at the things that you're gonna do. He's like, what am I gonna do? And he's like, the bunch of murders are gonna commit. Like, and we just see the black gloved hand, and he gets out of the dream to find Chloe, then Clark and Lance fight, and then Clark gets put into the dream world, and then he sees Jonathan, and Jonathan's like, Clark, you, Lionel knows your. Clark goes sees Jonathan, and he's like, and he hugs him, but he's like, hey Clark, Lionel knows your secret, and he's like, you gotta protect your mom, and so yeah. So yeah, the Lance tries to bone saw Lana, but then he actually gets killed by the bone saw tool, and so yeah, so Clark and also the alley girl died when Chloe turned to talk to her. She died, and yeah, Clark Clark he tries to go and talk to Chloe. He's like, I could feel my dad. He's right about Lionel, and he's like, Lionel told me about Dr. Malphine, and he's like, he duped me. So yeah. So Lionel picks up. So Clark's about to tell Martha about what Jonathan told him, but then who shows up? But Lionel, ready to escort Martha to the thing, and he's like, "Have a good night, Clark." And she's like, "You tell me tomorrow what we're doing." I'm like, you need to tell you now because it could be dangerous. Lionel's a dangerous guy, and yeah. And yeah, so basically, this episode was a really good one. I really enjoyed it. It was very creepy because I get Lana missing her parents and her wanting to return to them. But the way she had to do it was so creepy, and she just wanted her fix. First time she did it, it was like okay, but through the rest of the episode, she just and she even attempted to steal Lex's Porsche. Yeah, I like how he said that Lex knew where she was because of his car having GPS. Very good job, Lex. And yeah. And yeah, unlike last episode that was kind of good, this episode was kind of weird. It was a weird one. It was a weird one, and yeah. When I read this, when I was going to watch it, I was like, when I was going to watch like a minute like after before this review, I was like, hours before this review, I remembered this episode because this episode was so creepy. Like it's so creepy. This episode's so creepy. I remembered it because I don't know how, but I just remember this episode because it's just creepy. So like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. And I'll see you next Smallville, or I'll see you guys tomorrow for another review of Smallville.